What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Quarbit, your host today for Imperator Rome, and let's take a look at what is going on with the 1.1 Pompey patch, which is now open beta live. I decided today, well, you know what, I'm not really doing, a whole bunch of videos recently for the next few days, so I might as well put out something a little bit different, something a little bit interesting, and I found something, that you guys might want to take a look at. We got a whole bunch of new stuff coming out today. I think that was today at least. If I should scroll down, maybe find a timestamp. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to look through, by the way. I'm just gonna give like a brief. Okay, yesterday at 10:50, either AM, PM, not sure what that is. Probably AM, something like that. Not even entirely sure, but anyways. Yeah, we've got a lot of things to talk about today, so let's get started. So basically, to begin with, achievements cannot be gained. So localization is not ready for things that are not in English. So if you're a non-native English speaker, so if you're like some of my viewers are like in Germany or in Netherlands or something, so if you don't speak English natively, then you might have to wait a little while before everything's ready for your local language, right? Okay. And another thing, obviously, to note is that older saves will not be valid with 1.1, so in a few days I'm going to be swapping over to 1.1, starting a brand new campaign, because all the stuff in this new version is really, really good, okay? So we're going to have to talk about what makes it so good, alright? So, a couple new features. We're going to go through the new features, and then we're going to go through all the stuff that, like, has been reworked, changed, all that stuff. Game balance. We might talk a little bit about game balance. It matters a little bit less. We're going to talk more about the new stuff, because I know you guys want to hear about the new stuff. The only thing that I really want to talk about is the macro builder. Ooh, this is going to be great. So, let's look at the tops here. So, Civil Wars have been changed a little bit. It's now based on total... to be based on the total disloyal power versus total power base of a country. Okay, so each character's power base depends on holdings. Okay, that stuff's, basic. Stability's been reworked, guys. You guys probably know about that already. Instead, it's 0 to 100 instead of -3 to +3. Pretty much the exact same thing. Makes no difference. Increasing stability is no longer instant, so now you click the button and it increases over time. Great, fantastic. Makes nearly no difference. I guess it makes it a bit more dynamic or something. Coastal and river train types for naval combat. That should be in the naval combat rework, but whatever. Population capacity is now based on certain things instead of just, starving or not. So instead of having the Civ model where they either starve if they don't have enough food or they get more if they have enough food, they'll just sort of naturally grow towards a maximum capacity. And you can change it with things like buildings, granaries, stuff like that. Countries can now convert religion if their high priest is of the different religion, and the majority of the free pops in the capital also follow it. So you can now switch religions in the new patch. Pretty cool, I guess. The Seleucid bloodline, that's just another thing that they're adding for certain bloodlines of different traits. All religions now come up with their own omens, which is nice. It felt a little bit stale having pretty much the same thing for no matter what religion you're playing, so that's great. Every single country, added country-specific omens to a number of countries and some culture-specific ones. New ones will be coming in future patches. Every specific omen. They've added specific omens for Hellenic countries following the Serapis cult. Not even sure what that is, but okay, great. Every country in the world now has a heritage. Every country in the world now has a heritage. That's pretty interesting, actually. They're probably based on capitals, cultures, religions, maybe. They've added country-specific heritages to Rome, Sparta. Okay, that's a massive list. Whole bunch of stuff, though. That's great. That's fantastic. They added the possibility of on-map eruptions for volcanoes. A whole bunch of those ones, too. So, lots of damage if a volcano erupts. They've also added storms and seas, deserts, and winter. You guys have probably... If you're following all the dev diaries, you've probably seen a lot of this stuff already. But it does look pretty cool on the 3D map. I'm really excited to see the visual effects for storms and stuff like that. They look pretty cool in my opinion. There are now also navigable rivers. So I know there are a couple of rivers in Egypt. You can now navigate those. Very interesting. They can be blocked like straits by a navy. Interesting, okay. Light ships will perform better than others in a river. That's interesting. I would have thought galleys would perform pretty well. But maybe not. Legitimacy is no longer instant. Okay, great. So it's kind of similar to the stability mechanic now, where you hit the button and it goes up over time. War exhaustion no longer a magic button, so kind of works like stability again. Now embark and disembark. Hey, listen. This is important. Embark and disembark armies while in a port. Well, why wasn't this a thing already? I don't understand. This is a thing in like base game EU4. I don't understand that. Like, do you understand how much faster it is to just move your navy into port, get your army, and then pop back out? It's significantly faster than moving them over. Like, that's an actual strategic change to the game that should have been in the base game. So, I don't understand what's going on here, but okay. Great. You can now view foreign characters from the diplomatic view. Again, something that should have been there in the first place for Civil Wars. I don't know why that wasn't there in the first place, but okay. Rework the province view, adding more information, including pie charts of populations. Hopefully that means we can also convert from the province view. Please, I'm begging, maybe that's a thing. You can now tell units to start building roads. Okay, that's more of a quality of life thing. That's pretty good, instead of having them just stop every now and then. Monarchies, it's a new unit ability. Cool. Dual rulers, aristocratic republics now have co-consuls. So Rome now has a co-consul, so you get a little bit more power, I'm assuming. And corruption is the sum of both. Corruption popularity is the average of both the consuls. Okay, cool. Consorts. Monarchies now get consorts, and I'm assuming you get a little bit of a benefit. Yeah, they count as co-rulers, and they give benefits to the country. Supplanting the rulers if they're better. Okay. Great, alright. That makes sense. So, consorts are now a thing, which maybe they should have been a thing, but I understand that's a bit of a more complicated mechanic, so that's fine. Province and city improvements, very nice. Urban development interactions. Okay, I'm interested to see how that works. You increase the local civilization capacity, okay, as well as the civilization growth rate. Great. You can now set what unit types your clan retinues, okay. Changing will update retinues as well, but strength is dropped to 0, gotcha. Add 4 province level investments. Oh, okay, there you go, that's good, that's great actually. So you can have, I'm assuming, city level investments and province level investments. That makes a lot of sense. I like that a lot better actually. That's cool, I like that a lot. Population, loyalty, military power, and civic power. Okay, great. So you can get investments, and you can get buildings. Oh, no, hold on. Okay. Yeah, gotcha. So you can put in investments, so you get population output, and province loyalty. So if you put in military power, you get these things, building slots for civic, local import routes for oratory, and then same religion, pop happiness for religious power. Gotcha, that makes a lot of sense actually. I don't know how it's going to work out when they get rid of the power system, but you know what, for now, looking pretty cool. Naval rework, this is a massive thing. You guys can read this yourself if you really want to, but essentially, new ships, new capture port mechanics, a whole bunch of things you can do with ships. It's great. Ships are like fantastic now or something like that. I kind of want to check them out myself before I really get into it, but they had like a whole dev diary on naval rework. I can assure you this is going to be crazy interesting after it's done. Province capitals are now fixed. Very nice. They'll never relocate naturally unless the city is lost in a war. Okay. They added the capability to release a subject from any owned province. That's really important. Really important for things... Actually, this isn't a courting game, so I don't know how important that is. It's important for EU4, but not necessarily Imperator Rome as much. Anyway. A country capital can now be moved for a power cost that is dependent on the difference... Oh, that's a lot of stuff there. But yeah, you can move your capital. Cool. Holdings rework, multiple holdings, one for each of 10 slaves present. Alright, yeah, so holdings rework, stuff like that. Ledger, oh, very nice, they added a ledger. Okay, ledgers are very cool. I like having ledgers and things, so you can have army sizes specifically. Military statistics are great as well. Stances, okay. I was thinking maybe like economy things, like there's a lot of stuff you can get from like ledgers and stuff. It's really nice to have. I understand it's also a little bit more complicated to implement, so maybe we'll cut them a little bit of slack for not having it right out the gates. We're maybe just a little bit impatient because we had it in EU4 for so long. We also had one for Hoi. We've actually had one for like every Paradox game, haven't we? So, yeah. Anyways, government interactions, a lot of stuff going on here. Okay, so you can summon a war council, free claim. That's crazy. So monarchies are going to be pretty powerful. Looks like monarchies are going to be really powerful, actually. Okay, yeah, so usable once every 10 years. And a free claim on a neighboring territory at the cost of the loyalty of one or more officers. That's great, okay. Demand oaths, primary air attraction for 5 years. Great. whole bunch of stuff going on here. So all you got to remember here is that you can do a whole bunch of cool stuff. You can figure it out yourself. There's a whole bunch of information here. I'm not going to go through it all, but we're going to move on to the macro builder. Super important. Oh my god, I don't know how to express this in words. I'm gonna have to calm myself down a bit, because the macro builder for me is one of the goddamn most important things in the game. I cannot stress that enough. People don't take me seriously when I say that, but I cannot stress that enough. Macro builder. There's no point in having a macro builder in the game if it doesn't tell you what things are good to build. Because at that point, like, you don't want to just waste your money on spam clicking if you're not going to get the maximum value. So any good player will have to actually go and check each province, each city, okay, just keep in mind there are over 7,000 cities in this game, okay? Like, a good player would have to check each of the ones they have for the best one, and then build it, and then look for the next best one, then the third best one, then the fourth best one, and that's sort of the system he had to go through, alright? And that's absolutely cancer, okay? So this macro builder change, it's incredible. It's actually incredible. You're gonna save yourself, probably in any campaign, let's say a campaign takes you like 30 hours or something, you're gonna, like, it would have taken you like 38 hours, maybe 8 of those hours of just looking for something good to spend your money on, okay? Listen, it's actually more important than you think it is, okay? It's significantly more important than anyone has been taking it seriously as, you know? But anyway, enough about me ranting about macro builders. Let's talk about the economy. So, lax taxation is now minus 50% tax. That's actually a lot more. I think it was minus 25 or maybe minus 30 or something like that. It wasn't nearly as much. Remove the free capital trade route for all countries. Instead, the mid setting for trade taxation will provide one extra capital trade route. Isn't that the exact same thing? Hold on. Remove capital trade route for all countries. Mid setting for trade taxation will, oh, okay, gotcha, no problem. Reworked how commerce works. Okay, so is it primarily a province income? Gotcha. Commerce economic policies now impact how much you get from imports versus exports. Oh, that's good. That makes a lot of sense, actually. That makes a lot more sense. Governments, 50 popularity. Great. There's a whole bunch of just random stuff going on here. But good, some things are changing. Okay, yeah, nothing too important. You can all, of course, I'll put the link in the description, but oh dear god, there's so much to go on about here. I'm just gonna like see if we can get the rest of the good stuff done here. So technology is now ahead of time to be multiplied on speed. Okay, that's important. Alright, that's important. There's now a behind on tech speed multiplier that increases your tech speed. Okay, people who play the natives, rise up. This is your time now, okay, because technology has gotten a little bit better, okay? Technology is also a little bit more costly to get, but the behind on tech speed multiplier, that's incredible. That was a thing that already existed in EU4, and I get this is just sort of, it's just ancient time EU4, right? So a lot of things are just going to be based off that. But this is something that was really important, especially for people playing in like native areas where you just have massive tech issues for years, decades, centuries even. Massive issues. So, reduce a few loyalty increases for inventions. Okay. Reduce benefits on happiness for inventions. So inventions are a little bit less impactful now for certain things. We can now get traditions. Change a couple things. Change a couple things for the Greece. For Greek, I mean. So just changed a couple of things. Yeah, for certain countries, country-specific things. Cities and provinces. Your own forts and friendly zone of control now saves you from attrition due to winter and terrain. That makes sense. Great. Country capital now has one extra building slot. Okay, cool, I guess. Rome and surroundings now have more farmlands. I guess it's a historical thing. Sure thing. Marketplaces no longer boost commerce income, but now give plus 10% tax income. Great. Provinces that are isolated and not adjacent to other provinces in your country now get a small loyalty hit. Okay. Each road in a city now gives a minor boost to civilization growth. Oh, that kind of makes sense now that I think about it. Because roads allow you to have more people around. I don't know how to explain it, but it makes sense in my head, at least. And it made sense in the dev's head, too. So I guess we're thinking the same thing. I just can't put it into words. Anyway. Each port now gives one plus one trade route. That's important. That is hella important. Now, can we build ports? Can we do that yet? I'm actually not even sure. Can we? Oh, are there like, where's my buildings? Buildings. Because I know they're changing buildings, aren't they? I could have sworn they're changing buildings. And if they're changing buildings, that's really important for certain things, because if you can build ports, that is fantastic. I don't see anything about building ports here. I mean, I could just... Ports. Population capacity. Ports. Simple map things, I guess. Okay, yeah, so there's no longer really, I mean, there's still no, you can't build ports yet, which kind of sucks, but okay. Sure, whatever. Where were we? Cities and provinces, great. Okay, so more trade routes to the province. We can't build ports still. I kind of wish we could, but okay. Mercenaries are a little bit different now. Their maintenance is increased by 50%. Okay, that's good. Marching home to their home province will not reinforce. I don't understand, you know, any difference of that, but okay. No longer recruit mercenaries. Oh, okay, so they take longer to recover their strength, and you can't recruit them until they're at full strength again. Gotcha, okay. Mercenary captain is now a status that gives +5 martial while they have a mercenary company. Gotcha. Mercenaries that would have been stack wiped now charge their disband fee from the employer and leaves his employment. Okay. Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense, actually. Alright then, so, pops. Okay, assimilation now costs 30 monarch power. That used to be 20, I believe. Interesting. They're changing a couple things. Unrest no longer causes negative population growth. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, listen, that was a dumb thing. That was stupid. Negative population growth from unrest. That makes no sense in the first place. I mean, it makes a little bit of sense, but, like, makes sense in real life, but the actual mechanics of it just... They were terrible. Oh, God, that was garbage. Colonization can now be done over 2 sea zones. Great, that's a lot better. Especially, what is it, the island of Orkney was uncolonizable. I don't think they really thought that through, but it looks like they did. They did change a little bit now. Slaves are now far more distributed over your empire. Great, okay, having like 70 slaves in your capital, while having only like 30 other pops, that was getting tired a little bit fast, alright? So I'm glad they did something about that. Of course, you could like move the slaves yourself. That requires power and stuff, so great, now that they're moved all over the place, that's great. Glass now, okay, I don't know what that does, I don't know why. Pressure, now city loyalty, okay, I don't know why, great then. Oh, it's instead of happiness, it's now city loyalty, that's better, okay. Spices are now for citizen output, while dye is for citizen happiness, great. Surplus of wood is now 50% shipbuilding speed. Export is plus 20%. Okay, so you can build ships really fast if you have a surplus in the capital and you export. Okay, sounds good. Barbarians are changed a little bit. You can read that if you want. I'm a little bit less concerned about that. And there's all the AI stuff. I mean, if you just... also, yeah, a couple other random things, but... This is all the AI changes. No, sorry. This is all the AI changes things, okay? Lots of AI changes things. You can read this yourself. I'm not going to read it. Not even, like, by myself here. It's just so much. Okay, listen. It's so much stuff. So much stuff. You'll probably notice some changes, but you're not going to look through them all, at least. Oh, wait, why did they put more... Okay, so there's AI stuff, and there's interface stuff. Oh, interface is great. Okay. I'll show you different things. Macro Builder, yes. Yes. Improved map. Tooltips for building buildings through the Macro Builder. Very good. Breakdown of cost and price tooltip in the Macro Builder. Macro Builder, I'm telling you, it's some good stuff. It's some great stuff, okay? It's great stuff. Change the minimum resolution to 1080p. Okay, I don't know what the difference for that is, but alright, cool. So a whole bunch of different stuff. I like alerts, so unassigned titles, great. An active decision, yes, this is very good. I talked about this yesterday, I think, when I was playing. Very important. Same with this one, so these two are probably the most important alerts to add when you can enact a decision. And then there's one where if you have a free idea slot, it's kind of important because you start off the game with none filled, so if you're stupid like me and you forget to do it for approximately 4 years, you're losing a lot of points there, so it's kind of great that you can do that now. And there's a whole bunch of user modding, like, ooh boy, oh wow, well, yeah, sure, there's a lot of stuff there. Right then, so a whole bunch of small bug changes and all that stuff, but that's mostly it. That's mostly it for the Pompey patch, right? There's a lot of stuff going on here. I'm super excited to figure things out. Looks like the game is getting a little bit more fleshed out, has a little bit more character, okay? Especially with the different countries having their specific things. Kind of like the country ideas in EU4. Alright, I'm going to keep comparing this game to EU4. They're so similar in so many different ways. So, essentially, yeah, I mean, each country, or a lot of them, now have their own heritages, which is kind of like idea groups Although idea groups are not the same thing in this game, it's a little bit different, alright? So now we have like military traditions, but they're kind of... Alright, yeah, they got kind of similarities. But anyways, this is Quarbit signing off. Hope you had a fantastic time here. I mean, I'm really looking forward to this Pompey patch. Hope you guys are too. And, well, I mean, I guess that's it for today. And as always, have a fantastic day.